Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and I'll do another kind of personal acquisition video today. Very different from the one I just did over this past weekend. So I actually, focus a little bit, was able to just grab one of these off of eBay. This is a Concord Mariner SG, circa 1980s or so. And the story behind this watch is that my father was a watch guy, as I said, but I guess his two nicer watches are the watches I always remember him wearing were his Datejust, which this one is actually his, was his, I should say, and the Concord Mariner, which this one is not his. His Mariner went to my brother, and I always had a hankering for the watch. I always wanted it. It's one of those things, I kind of remember him wearing it all the time. It's such a cool watch. I wore it a bunch. So over the past few years, I would say, I kind of checked eBay, Watch Recon, and other sites, to see if one popped up. And usually they're in disrepair, or because they don't make the movements anymore, or usually, so people sell them for parts, or usually they're in great condition, but they're fetching way too much money. So I'm going to show this watch to you today because I was able to get one for a good price. It's great working order. So let's check it out. Concord is one of those brands that I would say has kind of lost their way. They're nowhere near as popular as they were back in the day. In the 70s, 80s, even early 90s. The Delirium, Saratoga, some other models. But Concord actually finds their roots. It's a Swiss brand. Going back all the way to 1908. Then since then, it's been gobbled up by various consortiums. I believe right now they're owned by the people that own Movado. So you don't see much of them around anymore, and you certainly don't see styles like this. So this is the Mariner SG. As I said, circa 1980s or so, mid 80s or whatever. I'm not sure what year my father's was, but it is a beautiful quartz dress watch that is super thin, 4 millimeters thick from the back to that beautiful sapphire crystal. So you say, okay, 4 millimeters, that's not bad. Take into consideration that the battery is just shy of 3 millimeters. That doesn't leave a lot of room for hand stacking, a crystal, case back, and a movement. As I said in the beginning, the movement is no longer manufactured. So if the movement goes, you really can't fix you could try to fix the movement as much as you can. Kind of difficult, but there's almost no option. And the Mariner SG came in all stainless. It came in a woman's size and a men's size. This is actually the men's size, believe it or not, guys. 32 millimeters across on this polygon kind of shape here. 22 millimeter at the lugs. So it kind of wears larger than it really is. And I think also due to its totally flat, its flatness or its skinniness, that it does not look ridiculous on a man's wrist. But just 32 from left to right. So it came in stainless. Came in the woman's size, which was a good deal smaller, and then it came in the two-tone stainless and the 18-karat gold with the bezel, the hands and the markers. I was going to say the crown, but the crown is done in steel, and the clasp actually has a gold Concord logo on it. I would like to zoom in on the dial because the dial of the watch is fairly special. It is a waffle pattern. What makes this watch special, at least for me, is the 9/quartz that's written on the bottom of the dial. I don't know what it means. The last video I did with the white gold Daytona, somebody knew a heck of a lot more about Daytonas than me and put a lot of cool factoids in the comments. So if you know what the heck 9/quartz means, I'd love to know. Because there are models with no writing, there are models with just quartz. The rarer ones, that when I was looking for them, was the ones that said, let me move the time out of the way, 9/quartz. I don't know what that means. So if you know, let me know. Let's see. So I'll push the time back just a little bit. I think that's about right. So it's got the Concord logo, the C with the circle around it, 9 chords, and Swiss all the way at the bottom. Just a really beautiful watch. Very interesting bracelet. Sizing it, very interesting. You undo a screw, okay, and then this little square cap pops off. And then you can see that it's got bars in it. You just slide the links out, put it back together, put the cap back on, and screw it back in. Really, really simple. Mariner SG, just a snap-down case back. Water resistance, I'm not sure about. Obviously minimal at best. There is the model number and serial number written here, but that's really not important at this time. I do want to show you, though, the cool clasp. So this is at one end. You have the bar. And you might say, oh, well, there's no micro adjust on this. Actually, there is, because when you look at the clasp here, you'll see 3 sets of slots that you can pop that bar into. 1, 2, 3. So the way you use it is you do it. Here we go. So you can put it here, here, or here. And that will be, well, maybe you can't do the last one. No, you can. Actually, that one works perfectly. And then there's a little lid that slaps down, and then the clasp slaps down as well. See that little secondary lever? Pretty cool. Super light, super comfortable, super thin. There's not, I mean, I guess there are quartz watches that are thinner nowadays. I did carry a Titan at one point. I want to say that was just about as thick as the battery, which was totally insane. But all in all, a beautiful watch. And a watch is obviously more than just what you see. It is part of the memories that it evokes. And for me, it's remembering my father actually wearing this watch in the hardware store or wherever else doing errands, chores. And, you know, he wore this and this predominantly. Those are the 2 watches that he wore. So that's what's important to me. So when I saw one pop up, I was extremely, like I said, extremely excited. It wasn't bad in price. I want to say $600, $700 advertised. It's fully working. I got it, and I was a little bummed that the bracelet was very scratched. Lots of scratches on the links, like really bad. So I did take it to my watchmaker, and knowing the sentimental value, he actually polished out the entire bracelet for me for free. No, it's not an investment piece. I'm not worried about losing the chamfers and the edging on the polishing. But now it looks really good. The only marks that didn't come out are the really, really deep ones. But it looks fantastic. I've been wearing it now for a couple of days. Keeps time great. Hopefully it remains running for the long haul. I guess I'll throw it on my wrist and show you how it looks up close. So there it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. By the way, there's obviously no lume here. 6 3/4 inch wrist, guys. This is a 32mm watch. I don't think it really looks the part. I think it looks much larger. You know, keep in mind, now this is a 36mm date just, right? I mean, it's crazy the difference, you know, how different they look, but you know, I guess looks are very deceiving. You know, there's no real bezel here. I mean, obviously there's a bezel, but the face is almost all glass. So if you think about it from that, you know, from that respect, it's probably almost, let's see, the crystal on an SKX is 31.5mm. So if this is 32 left to right, the crystal here is probably 29mm, 28mm. So it's really, it's amazing how things like that can change it. But I love it. It looks great, very comfortable, very lightweight. You see the clasp looks awesome, kind of like a little bit of micro just there, and that's it. Beautiful dial. And just wanted to share it with you. So that's about it. It has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you a personal Concord Mariner SG that I just picked up. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. Love to read them, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.